Okay, finally it's live, I believe. G'day. I'm not sure what happened. I tried something different. As usual, it didn't work. I scheduled this to go live at midday, and it's now 4 minutes past, so apparently I'm live. Yeah, I'm live. I'll just wait for people to join in. Make sure I've got all messages are visible. Give you all a little wave. Okay. And as usual, despite me testing it, I'm seeing myself on the monitor as purple and green. No idea why that is. Must be a driver or something, as it did it on the previous webcam as well. So I'll just wait until somebody joins. Nobody's watching. I had it set up to with my one of my old trailers, and didn't seem to work. So I don't know. Best way I find is to just set it up, go live. Tried to schedule, it didn't work. So nobody's watching at the moment. I'll give people a chance before I get into it. So it is Sunday here in Brisbane, Australia, 29th of September, 2024. Okay, one person watching. Hello. How you going? Yeah, feel free to chat in the little chat box there, and hopefully I'll see your message. Tried to set this up to instantly come on at midday, but I was sitting here a few minutes and nothing happened, so there we have it. So it's Sunday at, according to my computer, is now 12:06 in the afternoon. And being Sunday, I'm wearing my Holy shirt. All right. So, yeah, I'll just wait to see if anyone else joins in. I'm having my 19th or 20th coffee for the day, it feels like. Eaten nothing. And nobody's going to say hello. You can say hello. Just find the little chat thing there somewhere. I'm on live chat. Yes, okay. Hey, Craig, how you going, buddy? I didn't get a report from you this morning. Yeah, I was just saying, mate, I tried to, 4 people watching. Good, you're starting to find me. Yeah, I tried to schedule this for something different to go live right on midday, but it didn't happen. So, g'day, Will Robinson. How you going, mate? All right, we're up and running. I was just saying I'm wearing my Holy shirt, being a Sunday. Anyway, that's unfortunate, Craig. Thanks for joining in, though. It's just gone 10 a.m. your time in Perth. Perthish. All right, so yeah, thought it was about time I did another live stream using the latest webcam. I don't think the quality is quite as good as the previous one, but whatever. I know one thing, the previous one, which is on the floor there, still in its box, that failed. Yeah, I liked its swivel. It's got an extra dimension of tilt. This one you just got to move the mount on the monitor to try and frame it better. It's life, isn't it? So what's everyone up to today? Is it? All right, good, thanks, mate. Yeah, what are you up to, Craig and Will? Not a lot? I wish we could do this like everyone could, well, you can actually, where everyone, we have multiple windows. T-Rox and I, one day, it's been a few months now, he suggested they're going to do an OBS stream, which I believe will be simulcast. So that'll be interesting, if it works. Oh, yeah, I figured you'd be out sometime. How is she doing, mate? She okay now? I'll chat to you through the week on the phone anyway. All right, so up and coming, for those that saw the trailer on T-Rox's channel, I may put up the promo this time tomorrow, maybe on my channel. But yeah, it's up and coming is the Twisted Visions Spring Challenge, which is due next Sunday. We'll all go live, 5:30 p.m. I believe it is. Problem is, especially for me, and I'll likely mention this in my video, I was born here in Brisbane, and except for 1 year when I lived in Canberra, I've seen everything in Brisbane. And I'll tell you what, for a couple of days I've been thinking, where haven't I been? And there's not a lot of places that, places change and they get revamped, etc. But where have I actually been? Yeah, I've thought of a few things. I thought, well, I don't want to give too much away because it's kind of secret until it's all out there. But I thought, well, thinking laterally, what if I could go really deep under the city? You can't, there's no access. And then I thought of a place that I saw on a river cruise with the school. And it's, well, that'd be interesting. I haven't actually been there. Looked it up, it was demolished years ago. Now it's high-rise apartments and everything. That's the trouble when they revamp things, and they kind of wreck things as well. And other places, I thought, well, I could go there. Trouble is, with this being a 10-day challenge, and the topic was drawn a few days ago now, some things require a tour, and the downside of that is they don't always do tours every day. And the couple I looked up, sure enough, the next available tour is a few days after the video is supposed to be up, so kind of wrecks things a bit. Also, there was another place I thought, well, like most of these places I've been past 1 million times in my lifetime. Hey, Benny, how you going, mate? And the problem, hey, Stu, thanks for joining. Yeah, it was a little bit late getting going, and I tried to set it to automatically switch on at midday, but didn't do it. Yeah, so anyway, so one place I thought, I haven't actually been inside of it. I looked it up, and it's like $50 just for a tour. And I'm like, oh, what? I won't ever make that back on the video from ad revenue. Yeah. Plus, I wasn't that interested. So there are a few places I did finally come up with a little bit of help, and I may do them in the future. But well, touch wood, I'm going to go to this place and film this week, and see what we can do. I'm probably going to make it like my historical vlogs, rather than just, we'll see. I'll think about it once I've got the footage and edited it. So basically a real challenge for me being born in Brisbane. I don't believe any of the other people in the Twisted Visions this time were actually born in Brisbane. So I've had a lot longer to look around. And as far as the city, if you haven't seen the trailer that T-Rex put out, the drawn question was about inner Brisbane. Now, in my mind, that doesn't necessarily mean right in the city, but you've got a limited area around the city that's called the inner Brisbane. So if it didn't say inner, then of course there are a lot of places that I could explore that I haven't actually been into, although most likely I've been past them all. Yeah, but that's life. I guess that's why it's called a challenge. Yeah, better the late than never. That's right, Stu. Same with me, mate. I thought, I'll be a smarty and schedule this for midday. Said it was going to go live at midday, and then, according to my computer clock, it was midday, and then it was 1 minute past 2. Now, how do I do that without stopping the stream? I managed to do it, I think. So you might have seen an old trailer that I made at the beginning. No, it's not your end. YouTube. Hey, I don't even know. It's the last couple of times I've gone live on YouTube, whether it's this new camera or the one before it, I'm seeing myself on the monitor as purple and green. So, as I said last time, it has to be a driver somewhere in Windows, but doesn't do it on other things. I've done some work gigs using this new webcam, and luckily it was fine. One was on Zoom, I think. One was Microsoft Teams or something. Works fine. And the main thing is, of course, that you guys can see me okay and hear me okay. Seeing myself is just, that's not a bonus. It gives me a guide, you know. Anyway, crazy day weather-wise yesterday. No joke, here in Brisbane, it was like freezing, not temperature-wise, it's just icy cold and gale force wind at some times. And I was rugged up like I was in the middle of winter. And hey, we're heading towards the end of the year. It's pretty nice today. But yeah, we had some rain and wind. Mental. Just crazy. Anyway, so that's what's on for me this week, making the video for the Twisted Visions. Spring. Okay. By the way, don't forget, while you're here, if you don't mind, give it a little thumbs up. You can do that. Yeah, I know, it was mental. Well, that's the thing. The majority of days for the last few months, being fairly high on the hill here, it can be a beautiful day, but come like 5 o'clock-ish or a little bit more, the temperature plummets rather rapidly. And we've had like icy cold winds, and I've been like watching a movie on the lounge, rugged up, you know, with like a blanket over me, and like, this is crazy. Yeah, no. This is why I haven't gone back to New Zealand yet for a trip, because of that. I mean, I've been there when it's cold, and it gets really cold. So, yeah. Anyway, who else is going to join? 8 people watching. That's pretty good for me. Come on and join in if you can, unless you're watching on a TV or something. Just jump on your computer or laptop or phone, and you'll see somewhere there's a chat. Somewhere down the bottom will be chat, a little icon. Just click around, see what you can do, and come and say hello. Don't be shy. I'm not going to bite you. I'm not biting anything today. I haven't eaten except for lots of coffee. Feel free to make comments too, those of you that are here. So what else is new? Oh yeah, okay. Anyone that saw on my community tab during the week that my driver's side seat broke again. Well, it didn't break, but it's not actually the base of it. It's because it's a power seat, like 8-way adjustable, 3 motors in it. There's 2 little brackets, I guess you'd call them, that bolt to the floor. And the top of the bracket attaches, were originally, I guess, spot welded to very, very thin metal. During the time my car was made, I guess Ford was trying to save money by making the metal a little thinner. Apparently it's quite a problem. Yeah, I know, Auckland. We'll try, where is it? Invercargill Way. Icy as, man. Yeah, very cold. Yeah, so the bracket broke again. It was 4 or 5 years ago I took it out and welded the bracket. Of course, never made a video of that, nor put up photos, because at the best of times I'm a pretty crap welder. But trying to arc weld through micro thin metal just kept blowing holes in, and I tried to weld in a reinforced little bracket. Long story short, it worked. Held for, I don't know, 4 or 5 years. And I've just kind of tacked up everything again, what I could do. So far, it's holding. So far. But I don't think long term it will. Oh, okay. Yeah, weird, isn't it, Craig? Yeah, I was thinking if I had a MIG welder or even a TIG, it'd do a better task. And I'll tell you one thing too, I used to do when I was much younger. I still have the basic gear. I have to get another oxygen cylinder. Brazing, although that doesn't actually melt much into the steel, but it might have worked. The benefit of like it flows better and it doesn't blow holes into things. But I just was using my DC arc welder. I used to have a bigger, much heavier AC arc welder, but the DC does pretty nice welds. I mean, I have done some nice welds on it when I had my 20-foot boat and the trailer. Thanks to my mate Neville in South Australia, giving me some advice as well. I was able to get some reasonably good welds out of that. But again, when you're using an arc welder, even with the thinnest sticks that I had and the lower amperage, not fun. Yeah, maybe one day I'll get a TIG or a MIG. You can get gasless ones too, so that's probably better. But I don't do a lot of welding. I mean, I can weld to save my life, but just. But on the boat trailer, I remember I was even doing the nice little row of coins, thanks to a mate I had, Nigel, who helped me a lot in learning that. So, yeah, but again, what can you do? So apparently it's a fault with, well, not a fault, I guess it's metal fatigue. I mean, it's a 20-year-old car now, the Ford BA Fairmont gear. And and I'm doing it no favors. I mean, I'm carrying a lot of weight, or the seat is, but still, you got to wonder, like in America, where I guess the average person's weight is a lot. Hey, Bob, how you going? Thanks for joining in. I'm okay, mate. Thanks. Yeah, I guess in America, the average weight of people tends to be more, although I don't think Australia's far behind it. So I'm assuming they make the metal a little bit thicker. But anyway, you have metal fatigue. So the good thing is it didn't break where I welded it 4 or 5 years ago. So my weld was okay. But metal fatigue, anyway, it's back in the car. I'm covered in bruises as usual and scratches. So yeah. And this time I thought, well, no, I'll just buy another one from the wreckers. But they're very, very hard to find because I wanted to keep it original. I wanted the driver's seat to stay three-way electric adjustment, and I wanted leather like it has. And to ask a little bit more, I wanted the same color because you can't just go to Repco or somewhere and buy an exact color dye to match. So, and I know last time I did a ring around of the wreckers, only one place at Redcliffe, which is a long way from here, would only sell a pair of Fairlane seats, which I guess are the same seats, and they were black, and they wanted $700. So, anyway, I suppose an alternative I was just thinking of is finding an aftermarket pair of seats. Anyway, for now it's okay. Oh, really? Okay, Benny. Really? Well, I bought like last time it happened, a mate of mine, he had a couple of cars and he sold me he knew what it was. He knew the car. And I said, it's got to be electric and silver. Bringing this thing over, and I did buy it off him. I thought maybe I could modify the base. You can't. They're different. And it was cloth. Oh, man. But I tidied that seat up. It was pretty good anyway. Cleaned it, on-sold it, and made a few bucks, and ended up fixing this one. But yeah, from just lately what I've read around, that's obviously as the years go by, metal fatigue. Yeah. You'd have a better chance of finding a manually adjusted seat, which is one thing, but yeah, I think most of the manually adjusted ones that would be in the Falcons, they didn't have any in the Fairmonts and up. That'll be cloth, I think. So moving forward, for now it's fixed. off that topic, I guess. All right, so yeah, just everyone can give it a thumbs up to this video. It'll help put it out there. I thought I'd do a live stream. It's clouding over a little bit now. It's blinded by this ring light as usual. It is 12:24 according to me. So a little catch up. Anyone have anything they want to chat about? My short video yesterday over the Walter Taylor Bridge, they were quite quick in fixing that. It was a major traffic disruption. The last time I went to my chiropractor, wondered, where's all this traffic? And it's because they closed the bridge. And that bridge is the only one local that goes across the river. So that part of the river anyway. So luckily, I couldn't see they did anything other than what they did in my street and just put a new top on it. But my street didn't need doing. There was nothing wrong with it. I've got to waste the money somehow. So I have another mouthful of coffee and see if you guys have any questions or comments. So just chilling out today. So we'll be filming this week and editing to get my Twisted Visions entry in, which, as I say, I'll probably just do as a vlog. I'm not going to do a complex video. The complex thing is the topic, but touch wood, I'll be able to do where I have in mind. Oh, new comment. Yeah, exactly, Craig. We went and had our fush and chops, but we don't get chops. But yeah, we went to Graceville yesterday. We kind of alternate between there and Kenmore. And this time we were able to go there because the bridge to Graceville has been reopened. So they closed it for, wouldn't have even been a week. So yeah, we're able to go there. That's what my YouTube short show is going over there. Indrapilli, mate. Oh, I can. How can you? Yeah, I could send you. Have you got a email address on you? I'll check later. Yeah, I highly recommend him. Just trying to think of what they called us. Anyway, his name's Richard. Tell him that Steve Mack sent you. What is the name of the place? I'll think of it in a minute. Well, are you in Brisbane? This guy is very good. Actually, I've been there before he set up the latest premises. It was a shared premises, and I was there once, and apparently some of the Brisbane Broncos were there in the room with me. I didn't know. I don't watch it. I don't follow that sort of sport. Okay, cool. I'll send you an email, mate. Can I highlight that? I'll copy. Copy. All right. And I'll paste it here. I'll send you an email when I'm finished. Anyway. Just copy and pasting it to Notepad. Oh, I'm going blind from this light. There you go. Yeah, I'll send you his details. So yeah, Nanda. Okay. Well, he's on my side of town, sort of the west side, but well worth the trip. Okay, cool. Hey, Lawrence, how are you, mate? Thanks for joining. I'll get to that in a sec. Just to wrap that one up, look, some friends of mine that lived on the Gold Coast at the time, they put me onto this chiropractor. In fact, I made a video a few years back, or whenever, my first trip there. It was a bit of a funny thing. So, yeah, but they highly recommended him, and that's why I've seen him for, I don't know how many years, 6, 7, maybe not that long. But yeah, he was even invited over last year to visit the Dalai Lama. So, yeah, he's pretty good. Nice bloke too. and obviously nosy stuff. Okay, I haven't spoken to Gianni. I mean, it was a work gig that I did, so haven't caught up. I believe she's still overseas touring, so I don't know how she does it. I can tell you, in my younger days, at the peak of fitness, no way I could have done that. So, like, I can't imagine how intense it would be for any performer or artist to be doing a gig practically every night for months and months. Like, how do you not get worn to a frazzle? But anyway, nice person. Yeah, definitely. Yep, no worries, Stu. All right, I'll send that to you when I'm finished. As soon as I can see again, because staring here, there's a ring right around here, and I've currently got it on maximum intensity. That's the light turned off, and this one has 3 levels, 1, 2, and 3. I assume 3 is a little bit better for you guys. Let me know. Yeah, so it takes a while to be able to see properly, but as soon as I can see properly, I'll send you an email, and and give you the details. So, but do tell him Steve Mack sent you. I'll be seeing him this week anyway. Alrighty, so stop saying Steve. The biggest thing you should do is not say But I'm live here and I'm basically talking to a camera sitting on top of my monitor. So, yeah, I wish you guys could speak, you know what I mean? Like, but anyway. All right, so 10 people watching. That's probably a record for me. Yeah, so while you're watching, can you just click the little thumbs up down below? Because it helps YouTube assume that people are watching. What happened to the picture in the wall? Oh, it's just on the floor. I did a work gig the other weekend, and I thought probably better not have a Disney picture behind me. But it's not far. Yeah, sometimes I have some of my past accreditation things on there, but also I thought I probably shouldn't put that there and dox myself, as they call it. Yeah, so the picture's fine. All right, so now what are we going to talk about? Yeah, I actually thought when I said, I'll do a live stream today, and I put it out there on my community tab, I thought, hang on, I heard them mention Bathurst. Don't tell me I picked Bathurst Day. No one's going to watch. But it must be next weekend, is it? Oh, I used to watch it religiously every year. For a number of years now, I don't really bother. Sometimes I watch it for a while. Usually I try and watch at least the end, half hour or so. But yeah, I went off motorsport a bit, especially after Brocky died. Yeah, sad. Yeah, well, that's the other thing too. I was thinking that, yeah, people are hungover. Well, they might be waking up now. Yeah. Again, I don't follow football. No interest at all, but I'm certainly aware it was on because that's all you could get on the news. I've always thought, like, each to their own, but I've always thought, the TV news, and I get most of my news off, other channels and things, but TV news, I always thought they should probably, and they did when I was a little kid. It'd start, I think, with, well, to be honest, I don't know if it was local news first or world news, but one or the other. And sport was at the very end, probably then followed by weather. But, and I always wondered too, is the word news, you think north, east, west, south? Is that an acronym or? I'm not sure. That'd be an interesting thing to research, wouldn't it? Where did the term news come from? Fake news or otherwise. Well, anyway, well, personally, I get sick of like 15 minutes of sport and then the news. Like, okay, believe it or not, there's quite serious things going on in the world that probably should take place over sport. Then again, maybe people just want to switch off from the world events as well. And I don't blame them, because some of it's really worrisome if you let it get to you. Oh, 5 thumbs up. Well, we're now dropped down to 8 people watching, but only 5 thumbs up. Even on the TV, you can flick up and give a thumbs up. I'm just saying. Everything is, mate. Middle East, Russia thing, like you name it. Yeah. And it can get to you quite badly if you really worry too much about it. But at the end of the day, there's nothing you or I can do about it. Or you other guys, is there? So, yeah, we just got to hope that no one's ever crazy enough to use nukes. I think the chance is very limited, despite the rhetoric. But still, I mean, how much do you poke a bear before he finally bites you? Even though he knows he'd be killed in the process. So, yeah. Yeah, it's not a good world at all, is it, in that sense? There we have it. Okay, well, we'll be going 30 minutes, apparently. And I know I'm live because people are commenting. So I'm running out of things to talk about, unless someone has a question or anything. Basically, that's what I'll be doing this week, is putting together my Twisted Visions video, unless I go to the place I have in mind. And I've looked it up, it doesn't say no photography. But of course, I'm discreet anyway. And what do they say? It's easier to beg for forgiveness than ask for permission sometimes. No, I think it'll be okay. I'm not really there to film anyone that's there. I actually have been in the pool twice in recent times. It wasn't too bad. It was on the chilly side, but depends on which day. Like yesterday, you couldn't have paid me to get in. But there was one day last week I thought, maybe I'll go in, but I didn't end up going. The pool's looking very clean, but unfortunately, because of all the wind, you get all these leaves blow in and all these fragments of leaves. And yeah, but the new pool cleaner that I did a video about is excellent. Can't recommend it highly enough. No, we haven't, mate. We haven't discussed another subscriber meetup. I mentioned that I maybe one day, no time soon, might try having a subscriber meeting for just my subscribers. I don't imagine many people would turn up, but it might be some. Yeah, it was a pretty good turnout. It's like 40 people came, all up. It was difficult for me to find the place because I'm walking up and down the street like, where's this Frog's Hollow? No signs. Apparently there used to be a sign, but there wasn't anymore. And luckily 2 subscribers came along and said, are you here for the subscriber meetup? I said, yeah, I'm Steve Mack. And one of them knew, it's up the stairs through a library, I think it was, a library entrance to a building. Oh, how weird. Maybe people turned up and went, it doesn't exist, and went home. I don't know. Yeah. Oh, okay, Benny. All right, well, I would have seen you there. That's the one at the Frog's Hollow, yeah? I assume. I'd never been there. Kind of a pity that wasn't after the suggestion of the Twisted Visions thing. I might put the trailer up tomorrow. If not, go and check out T-Rox's channel. He's put it up. There's only, this time there's myself, Rob from Walkabout with Rob, of course, T-Rox himself, Rebecca, and Cam Carter. Rebecca is Love, Life and Travel. So there's 5 of us. Okay, cool. Well, I would have met you. Of course, I can't see what you look like, so yeah. But you probably, and if you saw my little short video I did afterwards of, I just went around with the camera. Do you remember that? That's on my YouTube channel. So you're probably in there, right? Anyway, yeah, it was fun. It was a nice little friendly, laid-back catch-up. Oh, you're in the video. Okay. Which one? Comment under that video, mate, and I'll try and find you. Like I said, if I could see your picture right now, oh yeah, I know you. Anyway, all right. So yeah, no, we will probably have just us five that are doing it this time. We'll probably catch up for a coffee or whatever a few weeks after. But as for actual subscriber catch up, nothing mentioned yet. Oh, I've got my mouse in the way of Laurie's comment. Your channel put me on the terror. Okay. Yeah, I know. Same. I would never have thought of watching geology, but I've said this to a number of people. Tony is such a good presenter, the way he's just laid back and talks. And it's interesting because you go around, you just don't mentally take note, or I don't, of this rock formation, but then you see Tony's video and you say, oh, that crack is actually a fault line. And some of his videos lately have really blown up in views, like the Kenmore fault, Kenmore to wherever it is. And I don't live that far from Kenmore. I didn't know there was a fault. I thought I was the fault. Yeah, interesting stuff. Or like, there's a cafe or apartment building right next to the sheer wall of rocks. And as he says, one day it's going to come down. Don't know when, but one day it will. And you'd think, how do they even permit the building of these things? Yeah, very interesting. And I watch all of his videos because it's like, wow, I had no idea. I didn't know about the LiDAR, how you can see through the ground and work out all these things. It's amazing. A good bloke too. I've spoken to him on the phone as well as in person quite a few times now. Okay. Okay, stand next to T-Rox. Oh, yeah, vaguely. All right, I'll have to watch the video. I'll do that later after this. I'll rewatch my video and find you. He did, actually. I watched a video of Tony's, I don't know if it's 6 months old or within the last year, I think, where they're apparently, and again, this blew me away, at East Brisbane, there used to be a little gold mine. There's gold everywhere around there. Yeah, no idea. And I grew up in that area. Crazy. Yeah, Tony's very cool. All the twisties are cool. Yeah, I get on really well with them, and a nice bunch of people. Yeah. I know too, there's a lot of gold deposits. Well, if you've seen my video at Gold Creek, was it Gold Creek Reservoir? It's currently on my channel trailer, I think, which I'm going to change later. But yeah, or Gap Creek Reservoir, I always forget what it's called. There's a lot of gold there, but of course you're not allowed to pan for it or use metal detectors. But and I know apparently up in Mount Cootha there's a lot of gold as well still. I think there's 8 disused mines up there from when they used to dig for gold. I know there's a few YouTubers have been up there and found the old entrances, what's left of them, to the mines. And then if you saw my Mount Cootha video, which unfortunately I mucked up in editing, well, not my fault, but kind of my fault, and I couldn't fix it once it was done. The my narrative over the top, my voiceover, was a little bit drowned out for a while with the music. But I like the video. Go and watch it if you haven't seen it. It's and hopefully you'll like it. But the point is that I mentioned in that there was the ghost hole mine, or it's the entrance to it, which apparently it used to be like open cut sort of thing, and to use my words. And now there's like a hole left, and you get a whole lot of people going, oh, there's ghosts in there. I don't know if there's ghosts in there, but I haven't actually seen that hole. Yeah. Oh, okay. Cheers. Thank you. Oh, g'day, SM. That's similar initials to mine. I was just thinking that this morning, Lawrence. Literally just thinking of it out on the veranda. I was thinking, they've never announced they've caught him. And I know there were 4 separate incidences of women being attacked. Isn't it funny you mentioned that? And I'm wondering if it's because they now have hidden trail cams up there. I don't know. Yeah, to be honest, pretty shit thing of him to do, and that's putting it politely. Yeah. And look, I don't know if you watch my Mount Cootha video of the history that I could find, so many incidences up there, shootings and murders and suicides and Christ knows what. Yeah, but there's not been a lot of recent sort of things like that. Yeah, and then you get a spate of like 4 in a row from, I assume it was the same person. Yeah, pretty bad. Yep. Well, that was my idea, the picnic at Hanging Rock themes. Unfortunately, I probably had it a little bit too loud. Anyway, I tried to make it fairly cinematic. Yeah. Yeah, well, that's it. As I was thinking, maybe that person won't do that again. I don't know. It seemed to be a bit of a serial occurrence, but maybe now they know there's cameras everywhere. Actually, speaking to well, Slaughter Falls, yeah, that was named after J.C. Slaughter. Big history. Yeah, have I missed any comments, by the way? Nope, just not enough people talking. SM, what do you have to say for yourself? That was it, probably. Yeah, I was having a chat to Gizmo on the phone the other day. Obviously, Gizmo from Gizmo's Bush Adventures. Shout out to him too. And he was saying up in the Diagula Ranges, there's like walking tracks, and there's a bubbler, like a drinking fountain, in the middle of the track somewhere. I went, you mean on the concrete? No, in the bush part. And I went, what? Wow. That would have been a cheap exercise to put in, all the plumbing. I mean, it's a good idea, but it's like, wow. Most people just take like water bottles or something. Yeah, good idea. It's a bit surprising, though. Oh, it's good to have you here, SM. Is that short for Steve Mack? Because I can relate to that. Gizmo is excellent. He's a nice bloke, really nice bloke. Yeah. Anyway, so I'm looking forward to seeing what the others put up for their Twisted Vision Spring Challenge. As you guys know, there's not a competition, and there's no prize. It's just their interpretation, more or less. But yeah, in this particular topic, as I said earlier, it's not been easy for me to come up with somewhere that A, still exists, B, I've never been to. Yeah. And we just say A and B. That's all I can think of. Next one. Yeah, okay. That's bizarre. We've got a lot in common. He is called Will Robinson. He doesn't need exterminating. I used to watch Yowie Hunters. Oh, okay, Sam. All right. Just kidding. Yeah. No, I can relate because I used to like going for like long weekend or midweek getaways. And the last time we went up to Springbrook, I made a video of it too, and it's going back a few years. But we had this place, a nice house, double story, and yeah, it was up towards the lookout. But I blame my mate Paul, if you're watching Paul, or if you watch the replay, for like spooking me out about the Yowies. And I tell you, every night I was getting really freaked out. I thought there was like something, walked up the steps down the bottom. I don't know. I literally said, I've got to get out of here. Short term, the holiday. I don't think we did because we prepaid. But yeah, I was quite freaked out. Probably no reason. And hey, if anyone's going to encounter a yowie, or that's Australia's Bigfoot, probably be Gizmo, and he's never mentioned anything about it. So I'll have to ask him when I speak to him next. Really? Wivenhoe? It's okay. Really? Well, he's a nice guy, wasn't he? Yeah, I wonder he didn't get the coppers come and talk to him. Yeah, that's odd. Yeah, Wivenhoe. It's always, I've said this many times over the years, privately and otherwise. It amazes me how many people laugh at all these things, like, oh, no such things. Like, well, why would there not be animals or creatures out there, including the ocean, that we've never really encountered en masse? And people say, oh, well, you never found any evidence of bones of yowies or Bigfoots. Well, in the bush, as some of you know, you often don't see bones of anything because other animals come along and they either like eat them or carry bones away. And, I mean, occasionally you find human skeletons. I don't know. People are just so quick to disbelieve things. Then you've got the other end of the scale, I suppose, where, people get paranoid and all that. It's like UFOs, extraterrestrials, etc. Well documented now. Even the Americans have come out and says, yes, well, we know there's something, but we don't know what they are. Very complex thing. If you haven't already, go check out Stephen Greer, who I think is probably the epitome of people that for many decades now has been collating evidence. Go and watch them, hundreds of testimonies recorded over the years from very, very high-ranking people that have come out and said what they know, and then say, oh, yeah, they're all bullshitting. Well, why would they risk their reputation of decades? Anyway. Yep. I know, exactly. And I'm happy enough to not meet a yowie. Quite happy not to meet one. And the thing is, like, okay, of all the encounters, as scary as they sound, I don't know of anyone that's, well, the funny thing is with yowie hunters, and is it AYR, or Australian Yowie Research? Many years ago, they had a lot of YouTube videos, and then they kind of disappeared as if YouTube got rid of them. So I don't know what happened. I know you get encounters all over the world, very similar traits with yowies, like, throwing rocks, and you'd know this if you've watched that, or, at night time, the glowing red eyes. Yeah, so there has been aggressive cases. Very interesting one that on the way to the Gold Coast. What was the area? There's a couple of, I think it was an army training area, many acres. And they had an encounter there, and they were using flashbangs and things like that to scare it off. But yeah, it's interesting, all right? I'm happy enough not to meet a yowie. And then you've got well-documented cases over the decades. Like down, where was it? Paspo Desert. What's the area called? Near Tambourine on the base. There was a whole school camp going back decades. You'd be able to research this. Yep. And even some of the teachers, like, it's all well documented. There was even a local politician, and they all saw this thing, ripping out this big, thick plants and things like that, throwing them around, a bit of a temper tantrum, I guess, saying, hey, this is my territory. We see them. It's like, or you look at the other topic, like UFOs, well documented, the one in New South Wales many decades ago, where the whole school saw this. I think there was 2 small, like, flying saucers land, they all saw it. This has happened in other countries too. And they also, and then strangely, there was no military. This is in New South Wales, I think. I can't quite remember the school. There's no military bases anywhere near it. And within, I think, an hour at max, suddenly turned up these, military people. So like, okay, where'd they come from? Yeah, were they aware of the presence? I don't know. So yeah, I'm very open-minded to things, especially when there's been so many people report them. Yeah, I agree with you, Lawrence. Me neither. I don't need to try and go to sleep when I've had the shit scared out of me. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but some people are closed-minded, some are open-minded. I did a video probably 4, maybe 5-ish years ago about the time I went. My friend Kay had a CSETI gathering, and my mate Paul and I went out there. And as I said on the video, go and watch the video if you can find it. I'd never used the word flying saucer until that night when I'm just lying there, and like most of the others were kind of meditating to Stephen Greer's, speech, whatever. And all of a sudden above me, probably I'm guessing no more than 200 feet, suddenly appeared this craft disc. I don't believe it would be man-made, although they apparently have alien reproduction vehicles, of course. And it just kind of was there and for a few seconds, and it's kind of disappeared, like interdimensional, I guess. So, because it did look like, I see now why they called it a flying saucer, because of the shape. And as I said in the video, it was kind of, to me, I guess the metal would be like an aluminium, but it kind of had a bit of bluing. Like, if you heat aluminium with a flame, you get like that blue tinge. There was a bit of that around it. So there was like a heat. Didn't see any lights flashing or anything, but then it was basically directly over me. And I told my mate Paul that night, and several times since I've said, never let me forget that I saw what I saw. And honestly, it doesn't matter if anyone believes, well, no, you didn't. Well, yeah, I saw it, and I wasn't imagining it. I wasn't drunk. I wasn't on drugs. Just saw it. And I feel privileged that I did. And I've seen a lot of things in my life that I'd say falls in as UFOs or UAPs, as they call them now. There's a few acronyms. Basically, same thing. Yeah, no. Yeah, you know what? It turned out Rob was telling us that he went to some experts, and because I said too, hey, like, there's a UFO. The consensus is there was an insect that was like flying, because on the beach there are spotlights, or lights that shine on the beach. So apparently the consensus is it was an insect and was kind of lit up by the lights. Fair enough. Who knows for sure, but yeah. Yeah, so look, I could go much deeper into things, but people are very skeptical, and a healthy skepticism is okay, but just never totally dismiss most subjects, because you just don't know. You'd be very bombastic to assume that you know everything. And yeah, there are people that think they know everything. Doesn't mean they're right though, does it? Yeah, it did look good. I also believe in science. I'm totally science-based, myself. Well, I don't know. Go and look at... Oh, g'day, Ian, by the way. I just caught your name. yeah, go and look at Stephen Greer and a lot of the testimonies of many people that he's interviewed over the years and decades. And yeah, well, there's plenty of people saying they've seen scientific proof up close and personal. But yeah, by all means, you're open-minded, go check them out. And there's a lot of names I could say. Yeah, well, it's not proof to you and I because nobody handed us any fragments of anything, but there are other people that say there's proof. Yeah, I get what you're saying. That's an interesting saying. A skeptic is just someone who really wants to believe in something the most. Yeah. Well, there was I think it was a general, was flying, according to his testimony, flying in an aircraft. I don't know what era, 70s, 60s, whatever, and and he, by his own words, he said he saw this craft basically following them. He was in I guess 747 or something, 707. He looked out the window and there's this craft, and he deliberately turned the other way to refuse to believe his own eyes. So maybe it falls under that banner. Yeah, I know. Exactly. Well, you know the Tic Tac. Some of you are aware of they nicknamed it the Tic Tac. I saw that footage at least 10 years ago, and they just released it the other year. The Americans released it. Oh, look what we see if it's old footage. Anyway, yeah, this could go on a long time, but there was the last congressional, and my mate Phil stays up to date with this more than me. Congressional hearing, which is probably the fourth one they've had over the decades. And they had David Grush. I might have got his name wrong. Yeah, and of course the witness testimonies and all that, but they wouldn't make it public. You know, they asked for a closed thing. It is apparently still progressing through Congress slowly, but yeah, it's a whole other thing to get into at the moment. Oh, you saw it? Okay, cool. Yeah, it was. There's a lot more. Now, here's something a bit interesting. There's a journalist, I'm going to forget his name for sure, an Australian journalist. He used to be on 60 Minutes, I think. What's his name? I wish Phil was on here to remind me. What's his name? Anyway, you might help me out if you remember. He's got a channel, and I forget what it's called. And he has done a lot of work interviewing people about this topic. Okay. Yeah, exactly. Ross Coldhart, thank you very much. Yes, that's him. Thank you. Go check out his channel, guys. And I don't know why he's not, as far as I know, thus far interviewed Stephen Greer. I mean, Dr. Stephen Greer basically has dedicated his life. Used to be a trauma surgeon, and decades ago he went into this. And yeah, I can only summarise it, and I wouldn't do him justice. But look up Stephen Greer. He's done some good docos as well. Yeah, so it's good to see a mainstream journalist taking this on board so much. Yeah. I don't want to digress anyway if anyone else has anything they want to talk about before I go. You never heard of Stephen Greer? Oh, Stephen Greer, Greer. Now, does he spell it? I think he spells it like me, Steven. Yeah. My friend Kay, who I haven't seen for a few years, I don't know what happened to her. She seems to have vanished. But she's been to a number of Stephen Greer's SETI events. Spent hours and hours and hours talking to me a few years back, her and I, many times. It's like things that she told me is like blew my mind. Absolutely. But yeah, she's been with Stephen Greer a number of times. She was even on a documentary about UFOs. There's another guy I met at a conference thing locally a few years back. What's his name? I'm bad with names at times, you know. Nice bloke, and his entire life, he used to live in New South Wales. I think he's back there now. He had put together a video, and we were chatting during the break, him and I. And I said, hey, if you want someone to edit it, I'm happy to help you out. And yeah, he never ever set out to, he's an Aussie guy, nice bloke. He never set out to look for UFOs, but for some reason, he's always seen them. And he's managed to spend a fortune on all sorts of high-tech gear to record it. He has a lot of recorded images. Anyway, I digress, don't I? It wasn't meant to be about this. 12 people watching, yet only 5 likes. Please, while you're here, click the little thing. May as well. I'm going to have to go soon and have a pee. I can't think why after so many coffees. Yeah, I know you're open-minded about it too, Craig. We've chatted many times about it. Yeah, so, I mean, I've got a few videos. One of my other channels with like only 30 subscribers, the Unexplained channel, Unexplained. It's linked in most of my, if you look in the description area, there's a link to my other channels. There's 3 other channels. I have one cat only. That's Big Eyes the cat. It's like part Siamese. Yeah, very sadly, my original cat family, with Meow being the mum, her and her kittens, yeah, they lived a long time. The Suki died, I think she was 18 years old. Meow, I think, was 21-ish. Tippy was 22, and then the last one was Teddy the vlogging cat, who Craig met. She sadly died, I think, probably 2 years ago now. And she'd either just turned 23 or was close to it. Yeah, devastating. Big Eyes the cat. Yeah, sorry, Big Eyes the cat came along about maybe 7 or 8 years ago. She was a street cat for a while, but yeah, only one cat now. Big Eyes is fine, like, you know, they all have their own personalities, but yeah, it's just not quite the same people cat as Meow's family was. I miss them all incredibly. I can't emphasize that too much. And only one bird, which is Bobo, the rainbow lorikeet. And I used to have a scaly-breasted lorikeet, which I ingeniously called Bird. And I found him at the end of the veranda here, Bird. And then, anyway, long story short, yeah, he, I think he lived 12 years. But in the meantime, I think just the day or two after my mum died 11 years ago, same thing, rainbow lorikeet. And that was when I called Bobo, short for rainbow, sort of. Yeah, I was going to call him Bird too, and like Laddie went, you can't call him Bird too. I would have called him Bird too. Yeah, so, but Bird died a few years back, and now there's just Bobo, who you will hear and sometimes see in most of my videos. You'll hear him whether you like it or not, much to my dismay when I'm editing, and there's a loud beep. So, oh, man. And you'll also see in the outtakes as well. Yeah, Ian, good mate. You'll have to watch the replay because I've been through this reasonably extensively with the latest Twisted Visions. It's a real challenge for me because with the topic as it is, explore an area, what was it? Explore an area you've never been to in Brisbane or something like that. Well, I was born in Brisbane. I've pretty well been everywhere, but I'm going long story short, going to film somewhere this week, which hopefully I'll be able to get proper access to. All the good ideas I had of Westall, that was it. Thanks, Craig. Westall School, talking back about what we're talking about. 1966, yeah. Yeah, so yeah, just watch the replay when it YouTube processes it, Ian. I went through a long thought process about where could I go and where haven't I actually been. And everything I came up to was either you can't get access to it at the moment or not until after the deadline of the video being up. So it's not been easy. Probably less easy for me because I was born in Brisbane, but the others kind of have come to Brisbane, or yeah. Not to say they haven't seen everything either, but the fact that it's inner Brisbane rather than just Brisbane is really, it's been a challenge. No worries, mate. No worries. Yeah, exactly. All right, well, I'm going to have a decision. I need to go to the loo. I'll leave it up to you guys. Do you want me to continue the stream for a while? And in which case, you're just going to have to wait a few minutes while I duck off and come back? Or will I shut it down now? Let's have a quick vote of hands. I'm happy to go on a bit longer if you want. But of course, some of you guys have got things to do. I guess it's nearly 1:15 here in Brisbane. Well, I'm going to put my cup. I've got my monitor pulled forward, so to try and frame me better. I'll put it strategically on the edge here and hope it doesn't fall off. That's my Garfield cup, the faded version. I have another Garfield cup, a newer one, but it's slightly smaller. Keep going. Yeah, all right. Anyone else agree with that? Keep going. All right, okay. I'll keep going. To anyone that's not here when I come back, I'll catch you later, but okay, I'll keep going for a while. Right. Oh, okay, Stu. All right, buddy. No worries. Benny says keep going. Ian's out of here. Yeah, all right, Ian. Okay. Well, we've got a 50-50 split here. I'll keep going for a little while. Maybe till 1:30 then. All right. Okay. Well, okay. Well, just wait a minute and I'll be back. I'll wait 2 minutes. I'm going to light up a smoke. Sorry. If you didn't know, I'm a smoker. I'll light up a smoke. Go and have a quick toilet stop. You know, caffeine is a diuretic. In other words, makes you piss. Yeah. All right. So cheers to everyone that's bugging out. I'll see how many's here when I come back. See you soon. Oh, I'd like to spin the camera around and show you something more interesting, but there's really nothing more interesting to see. Back in a minute. I need a sign here. Back in a minute. It's a sign. See you in a sec, guys. All right, I'm back. Yeah. Next time I'll make a intermission sign. Okay. Had to have a bit of a walk around. My legs are hurting a bit. Okay, so hey, Graham. Yes, chair. You timed it bad, Graham. I had to go and pee. I've been on there for ages. So where were we? That's right. Yeah, I'm now catching up with the chat here. Oh, it's a lot of chat. Good. A few minutes later. No, I had to go walk around. My back's a bit sore. Okay, so good to see you chatting. Okay. Oh, okay. Well, that's all right, Benny. I was on CBD oil for a couple of years. I tried it. I haven't had any for a while. Only just for like back pain and stress. I think I'm doing a bit of an experiment, not having any for a while. I think maybe with myself, marginally it helped things, but only very marginally. Yeah, of course you can hear the bird. That was Bobo, and he's out in the deck, or as I call it, Studio A. And yeah, you can hear him all right. Steve Macon. Oh, hallucinogens. No, I don't smoke weed, mate. I mean, I have done it, but in my opinion, this is okay if you don't drive and cause a risk to anyone, or it doesn't make you cough too much. Yeah. Oh, hang on, I've skipped too far. Whoops. Yeah, just catching up on chat here. Vape oil. I don't know what that is. Vape oil. I think I know what you mean. Oh, well, I've got, since you're talking about it, there's bad timing. Frog in my throat, but not the Frog's Hollow. Frog's Hollow, I was just talking to my sister this morning. Apparently, it's called that because of the where it's located. There used to be a creek, and it was full of frogs. No, the little ones out in the lounge room. But I stopped smoking for 18 months, going back a few years, and stupidly I took it up again. But when I wasn't smoking, I went on to vaping. I should have stopped the stream before. Hey Al, how you going? Yeah, I'll get to you in a sec. Just finishing one topic at a time. Yeah, but anyway, I went back onto cigarettes, which is stupid. As I've said before, I'm not a stupid person, but I do some stupid things, and smoking is one of them. The biggest stupid thing. But anyway, I thought, well, I'll try vaping again. I bought this thing a few years ago. Huge vape here. And I think it's still got battery charge, if I remember how to turn on. There you go. Hang on. 1, 2, 3. System off. 1, 2, 3. Maybe I've forgotten how to turn on. Ah, 5 presses. That one I've got. And you can adjust all the power settings and all that. Uses 2 big batteries in here. See? 2 of those, I forget what they're called. Yeah, I bought this thinking, well, yeah, I like the idea of big clouds. But I tell you what, it knocks your damn head off. It's so strong. But you can turn it right down. But I haven't used it for years either. I should probably sell it, although it's probably illegal to sell them anywhere now. System off. There you go. Yeah, so I think I know what you mean. These are the refillable ones, which, by the way, are still legal. You can refill stuff. It's only the disposable ones that you're not supposed to have, and I've never used those anyway. Smoking is bad. Vaping is not smoking, though. People always get that mixed up. Yep, exactly. Yeah, I make no excuses for smoking. Believe me, I suffered because of it. Anyway, yeah, so I assume that was what you were talking about there, Lawrence. Yeah. All right. Well, yeah, thanks for joining in, Alan. As I said to you on your live stream, it's pretty bad that you've been evicted. This is the trouble too. Like, anything business with friends, which I know Kathy is to you. It's her husband that this is business. As you said yesterday, yes, I understand he runs it as a business, but yeah, it's an awkward one, mate, and I hope you find a solution. I really do. I wish I could help. I'm looking at leaving. Well, I suppose, Ellen, you could, yeah, it's heartbreaking, but worst case situation, maybe you could like sell your fish and animals, or yeah, I don't know. It's I was quite shocked to see that you're being evicted. I did always worry though when you've got the big aquarium. I thought I might have even said, "What if you ever have to move?" Just knowing that, yeah, people can say you can have this and you can stay forever, but things happen, and not always our fault, but things happen, and yeah, then you have to deal with it. But I think you'll be okay, Alan. It's just awkward. At least you've got 2 months. It's not like get out tomorrow. But maybe you could, I don't know, you probably have. Maybe if you try chatting to Kathy again, maybe she could sway the husband to, give you another chance, or you know what I'm saying, don't you? And I know what you've been saying too about the other people that live next door to you. They've obviously decided to, what we'd say, stitch you up and get you into trouble and say things that didn't happen. Yeah, well, I don't know. Is she going to want? I think that she'd look after them, but is she going to want them, or I don't know. Me personally, I think I'd be pretty annoyed with a friend that, well, it's not her property, obviously. Well, it would have to be hers if it's her husband's. Yeah. Okay. All right. So, yeah, the situation is, guys, Alan in Nelson, New Zealand, has been given eviction notice. So, not an easy one, is it? And as we all know, like I know a couple of people that currently don't have anywhere to live. One is staying with someone he used to work with, and another newer friend I've made is lucky enough to be able to stay in her mother's caravan. But yeah, what do you do? What do you do? I've said before, and I know we're so lucky to own this place. I hated renting. God, it sucked. Yeah, it is. It's terrible everywhere. Everywhere. And if you're still there, Graham, as we've discussed, yeah, people evict tenants with some BS excuse, and as soon as they're gone, they re-rent it, jack up the rent immensely. It's just, yeah. Some people have no ethics. I know business is business, but this is one of those situations. Yeah, of course they did, Alan. Yeah, but the trouble is, it is the same everywhere. What really, since the whole COVID thing, it's when it really turned to crap, I think. It's a bit different. Sometimes, like I said in one of my first Twisted Visions video, my personal opinion, being polite about it, is they're letting too many people. Well, yeah, I'm not being racist, but they are letting too many people come over and stay on a permanent basis when we don't have the room for it, and they're not making new buildings and houses, and it puts a strain on everything else. And also, we've also forget the overseas part as well. A lot of people, probably wisely, chose to move, especially from Melbourne. I think they had a whole gutful of the crap that was going on during COVID down there, and people know what I'm talking about there. Pepper spray and all that for being outside your house and not wearing a mask, even though you're out in the. We won't even go there. The entire world knows what that's about. So a lot of people have moved up from Melbourne and other places too for a better climate, generally. Depends on which day. And yeah, so that's of course increased the demand for housing, but there's not enough housing. I saw a video the other day actually. Once in a while I find there's more Brisbane YouTubers than I had any idea. This guy had just moved over, I think a month ago, from Las Vegas, American guy. And I watched a couple of videos that he did in the first few days. And he's walking through, where was it? It was near the powerhouse, which used to be a powerhouse, and there was like an arts thing. I've been there. And yeah, he was saying, well, people were saying how many homeless people are in Brisbane, but he said, I've seen one. So maybe there's a bit less than, or maybe just certain areas are worse than others. But he said, this looks like what you see in the American movies, where nice park and all that. He said, but in America, most cities, this park would be full of people that were homeless. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Same words. Yeah. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I think all of our governments have sold us out many decades ago, to be honest. Yeah, Musgrave Park, that's the one I was thinking. Yeah. And this is the thing too. A lot of people don't realise, a lot of people that are camping out in parks, once upon a time you think, oh yeah, they're all druggos or winos, whatever. That's not the case. It's literally people that have nowhere else to go. It's a terrible thing. I mean, this is the Western world we're living in. This day and age, and it's happening. Yeah. Government sold us out many years ago. Yep, that's what I think too. After COVID, they came up. Oh, I remember where they put South Bank. It was called Recovery Park, the nickname when I was a kid. And they were full of, well, winos and drunks and everything. And that's where they all hung out. And when Expo came along in 1988, they basically kicked out of there. Yeah. The crappy thing, I remember that because, I was teaching darkroom photography techniques at the time. And I heard some stories. And I remember that, and I think this stinks, a lot of people that owned houses around there were forced to sell. And I think that is wrong. It should not be allowed to happen. But yeah, and they were given sometimes reasonable prices, other times not. I just don't think the government should have that power to repossess homes if you don't want to sell them. Too many Indians, yeah. Well, too many of all, yeah. That's right, living in vans. Funny thing is we looked up some months ago, just out of curiosity. It may have changed since, but price of camper vans or not SUVs, but you know what I mean, like Winnebago type motorhomes, surprisingly cheap for what you get. Like it was some like barely 5 years old, and they're like relatively cheap for that sort of vehicle. It's like, wow. Trouble is, there's only certain play. It depends, apparently. Like my mate Shannon, that bought my Harley Davidson Fat Boy 8 years ago, and finally just last week resold it, which was a bit sad. And he started up Camp Winnie. I've recommended his channel before. They've done 2 laps around Australia in this Winnebago he did up. But he was telling me it depends. I think it's roughly, if it's under 20 foot long, you're allowed to park certain areas. If it's longer, then you're not. Yeah, of course, if you've got one, then who's to say you have to stay in that city? Yeah, so, okay. Yeah, is it really? Oh, Camp Hill was all right. My sister used to have a house there. It was okay. It was like a good suburban thing. $1 million, it doesn't surprise me. The mean average houses around me here are like $1 million upwards, because some are in better condition. Yeah, who would have thought? It's weird, isn't it? You imagine like when we were kids saying, "Oh yeah, he lives in $1 million house." Wow. Now it's like, and how the world changed. And I remember when I was renting, decades ago. If you were to pay $200 a week, it'd be basically nearly a mansion. And now that doesn't exist. People are paying like nearly $2,000 a week in some areas. Oh, that's mental. What sort of income must you have to afford that? Hey, Phil, I was just talking about you before. We were talking about Stephen Greer. If you scroll up, I think some of the guys have left. But yeah, I was talking about Russ Colbard. One of the guys mentioned his name because I forgot it. Yeah, it was good, wasn't it? I have no idea why they resurfaced the street. There was nothing wrong with it. There was literally nothing wrong with it. And they had a private contractor came and did all the profiling, the ripping it up. And it was like 10 days later, the council came. They spent 7 hours. I think the council honestly did a better job, but yeah. Why? Why'd they do it? I wasn't going to put that video on YouTube, but I thought, it was interesting to me. It was right there. Yeah. Anyway, something I was part of, whether I wanted to be or not, because whether it was the roller, I don't know, but it shook the shit out of me. I came back inside, went to the loo. I'm sitting there like the walls are thinking, well, if there's any termites left, with there's not, that would have got rid of them. And my teeth are all genuine, no false teeth, but they nearly shook out of my head. Yeah. I don't know if they bought in a compactor or whether it was that roller. Was it really? That's interesting. Tony T-Rock said the same thing to me on the phone. He said, I started watching street resurfacing, and he said, I just couldn't stop watching it. I'm like, cool. You just never know when you make YouTube videos what's going to, people will find appealing, what they won't. It's an unusual world. By the way, okay, I've got 11 likes, so some people have bothered to give me the thumbs up. What are you doing, Phil? Apart from watching me. Oh, that's it. You are watching me. I don't know what you're doing. Cabarita? Okay. What did you miss? Just scroll up. We went on a bit of a parallel dimension and talking about UFOs, etc., and Yowies. And that's where I mentioned Stephen Greer and the what's the name we often talk about, the time for a memory blank, isn't it? The the thing they have there in America. Caboolture. That's where Mum used to live. You went to Caboolture from there. Okay, it's a long dinner. Another 40 minutes you could have dinner with me. Phil, by the way, is my mate of many years ago. I think I was 27 when I met Phil, and we were both working for a security company. And I made a long video last time I went to his place, a 1 hour long video. Then I made a shorter version. Phil lives out towards Tara. It's about, 3.5 hours away ish. Okay, well, stuff you then. Charming. Yeah. All right, I'm on YouTube. I better not tell you what I'd say on the phone. Yeah, I wish I was still being teased by you about being 30 when I was still in my 20s. I wish I was 30 still. Hey, hang on, I was 30 once. I was in better shape too. You're a witness. I was in much better shape. Then again, we both were, hey? Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, you can scroll up a little bit before I went for a toilet break, and you'll find our chat about UFOs, etc. Congress was what I was thinking of, by the way. A lot of comments. To anyone watching the replay, which will probably be 24 hours from now, you'll be able to follow the live chat here. YouTube takes so long to process those things. Anyway, well, I'm glad I did wait. I kind of put it to a vote. Will I end the stream because I've got to go to the loo? I had a 50-50 keep going, so I'm going for a while. But now, yeah, much what? Yeah, I'm with you. Oh, stuff it. There's only us fellas here. I'm going to have to light up another smoke. Take another 5 minutes off my life. The thing is, it takes 5 minutes to smoke, so. Congressional hearings, yeah. I was mentioning you. I was saying if my mate Phil was here, you follow it closer than I do now, because it's. I keep thinking, as I say to you, what will ever really happen of it? And then something comes up and, they get sidetracked, like, oh, it's convenient, let's go off that topic and look over here. Let's get involved with another war. That'll distract people. Yeah. I was saying, Phil, that they, if they would make it a public thing where we could, because they won't, for reasons obvious. And as I've told you on the phone, discussed many times, I think their protocol is they've got to come at it as a lose my train of thought badly, as a defensive situation in order to meet certain protocols that they follow, which is unfortunate, because then people think, oh, they're a threat. Well, we don't necessarily think they are, do we? But they've got to phrase it that way, or else they won't get certain funding. I worked for the government, and I realised how stupid it was, because there's way too much evidence. Well, I don't know if he's still here. There's a guy, if you scroll up. Yeah, you got a lot of trolls yesterday, Alan. As I said, it's good for the algorithm, though. Good or bad comments, YouTube still thinks, oh, okay, interaction. So, yeah. Yeah, I still think that there was a guy here before. He's still there? Lawrence, there you go. Yep, totally. There's a lot of comments. Who wasn't Stu? Ian. Yeah, I think it was Ian that was saying he's science-minded, but he needs evidence of the UFOs. Well, yeah, as I was saying, there's evidence, but presented to people, just not you and I. Like, we can't pick up this, UFO, made in Mars. I'd rather that than made in China, though. Well, yeah, okay. If you look at a lot of the Stephen Greer interviews, Lawrence, both Stephen Greer and other recorded witnesses say that have made cases of intervening. What I was going to say to you, Phil, next time we chat about this, which may as well be now, is that with that in mind, they said, well, certain extraterrestrials may intervene, to stop a nuclear war. You know what I'm starting to think? If I was them, I'd be thinking, you know what? They're so stupid on planet Earth or whatever they call it. Yeah, why would you bother? Like, there's so much fighting still going on. These people aren't ready for the next level of knowledge or intelligence, I don't know. Maybe they're more forgiving than us. But I'd be very reticent to help when all this craziness goes on. Although I suppose they'd realise the average person isn't a bad person. Yeah. Well, this is the longest live stream I've ever done, considering I was only going to go 30 minutes. Anyway, okay, 11 people watching, 11 thumbs up. It's balancing up. Keep giving the thumbs up, guys. Thanks. By the way, if you ever feel like buying me a coffee, there's a link in most of my videos. You can buy me a coffee for $2 or $6 million if you want to buy me a big jar. And that's on current prices. Have you seen Three Body Problem? No, I've not heard of Three Body Problem. Have you, Phil? There wasn't a typo, I assume. Three Body Problem. Is that a movie or a doco? Doco, I assume. Three Body Problem. That does sound interesting. There's some good documentaries that Stephen Grew's made. Probably my favourite is, what's it called? Oh man, I'm on the spot. Oh, hi Alicia, how are you? Thanks for coming in when you did. So I'm having a memory blank. Oh, okay. No, I haven't seen it. I might have a look for it, actually. And how are you, Alicia? I know I've encountered you before. Your name's very familiar. Where are you from, by the way? I'd pause. Oh. Yeah, okay. Is Ross Colbart's channel, what's his called? It's not Reality Check, is it? News Nation. Yeah, that's the one you'll find. As I was saying earlier, he's a legitimate journalist that you're one of the few journalists, mainstream journalists, that's taken on the whole topic, because a lot of people just brush it under the fence. My flame went out, which isn't a good thing if you're flying a jet fighter, but since I'm clearly not flying a jet fighter, sitting in a really nice leather chair I bought some years back, which unfortunately started to fall to bits. I'd love to get it reupholstered, but I don't want to spend a fortune, and not enough people are buying me a coffee through the link. And yeah, I don't know who would do it, but it's a nice chair. It holds up better than my car seat has. Oh, Sydney, okay. Need to know, okay. Yeah. How's the weather in Sydney? It was mental here yesterday in Brisbane. I was literally rugged up, Ugg boots, jumper, tracksuit pants, and we're nearly at the end of the year. Yeah, and Craig, who I think, he's still there, Craig? Craig's over in Perth Way. And he said the weather was weird yesterday too. My smoke keeps going up. Sorry. I'm sorry, folks that don't smoke. I don't mean to give you passive smoking. Well, I'm going to stay out of that. I'm not a sports person. Phil's probably into that. Cold, rainy weather. Yeah, well, it was like that yesterday here. Well, I guess there was a weather front. Yeah. I think this summer, probably for most of us in Australia, don't know about the heat wise, but I think we're going to get a lot of storms, which I think is excellent. I've got a lot of storm videos I've done. I love storms, except as some of you have heard, many years ago when I was out sailing, I was actually captain of it was only, I think, a 30-foot sailing boat. Usually it was on a 50-foot one. And yeah, we ran into a horrendous storm just off the port of Brisbane. And we literally were blown 10 miles off course in 10 minutes. And it was, this one was a tiller steered thing. And I was wrapped around the transom like thinking, I'm going to die. And we're like, whoa. Somehow we didn't die. Yeah. So I learned a new appreciation for storms when I'm safely on land. But mind you, it was probably what, 7 years ago, if that long. Yeah, we went on a cruise on a big, cruise ship. And the first night, I was kind of hoping that we'd run into the tail end of this massive cyclone that had been through, and we did. And the first night, we were pitching so badly, and I tried to get to sleep. I couldn't. So my eyeballs were literally rolling around my head, it felt like. And I thought, just stop for 1 minute, just to stop. Yeah. But apparently a lot of people, like I don't normally drink, but a lot of people, they buy they pay extra for the unlimited drinks, whatever. And so they take advantage of it. A lot of people were not too well. Probably a good thing I didn't go out to the deck, so there would have been chunder everywhere. G'day, how you going, Ken? Nice to see you, mate. Yeah, I liked your music you played the other day on your channel. It was good. Hey, Giz, how you going, mate? I was talking about you before. And yeah, we had some people say they like your stuff and you're a nice bloke. And I agreed. Because you paid me to. No, you didn't pay me to agree. Yeah, no, cheers. Some people have come and gone because I almost called the live stream off before. I had to go to the loo. So I said, will I continue? Some said continue, some had to go. So there you go. Benny was one. Benny was him, yeah. Yeah, you're welcome. I hope your neck's doing okay at the moment. Yeah, no, I really like your latest video too, Giz. I mean, they're all good quality, but the camera you mentioned really captured the rainforest and everything really nicely. I enjoyed that. Can't wait to see your alternate version of it too that you told me about. It'd be a nice little wind up, won't it? Yeah, all right. So who else is still here? 13 thumbs up, 11 people currently watching. Means 2 people didn't leave a thumbs up. Honestly, how long does it take to go click? Come on now. Aussie Jubes, how you going? Thanks for joining. I wouldn't have been still streaming except it was suggested I keep going for a while, so I have. I think this is officially now the longest live stream I've ever done. It's currently in Brisbane, according to my computer, 1:49 p.m. on Sunday, the 29th of September, 2024. So much so that I'm actually having a cigarette, which I don't tend to do much, except occasionally on live streams. Anyone else still with us? Please, hands up. Give a thumbs up as well. Need to take the roll now. Remember at school? We all at school and in the morning parade taking the roll, or in class, wasn't it? Yeah. How many have seen my East Brisbane school video of a few months ago when I went back there after 47 years? That was awesome for me. May not have been a great video for people that didn't go there, but just mind-blowing, as I was saying on the phone to Gizmo the other day. It's like so trippy to go back and the essence of the place was still exactly the same. Yeah. Thumbs up number 16. Oh, yeah. Thank you. Yeah, cool. Cheers. Yeah, that was brilliant. And of course, I ran into a couple of friends that I went to school with. One, Michelle, that you saw. Her and I remained friends all the time since school. Very intelligent woman as well, who wrote a very good book. One day I might record an interview for YouTube with her. One day. Hello, D. Robertson. Okay. Cheers. Hi. Phil's still there. How many times did you get the cuts? Never. I mentioned that in the video. See, you didn't pay attention. I said I probably should have got the cuts, and then one time I thought I probably would when we were throwing hot chips at lunchtime, but no, I never got the cane. I don't think I deserved it. I'll tell you one thing for sure, though. If I had kids, I imagine they don't do canes anymore, but if I had kids, I would have gone in there and punched the shit out of the guy, the headmaster. Fancy doing that. That's child abuse, man. There's no two ways about it. I know, you can go the other way, and I think that parents should discipline their kids, but, you don't have to go using the cane. Intense. The world's changed, hey? Yeah. It would have been good at breakup day at school, where all the students get to cane the headmaster. It would have been worth going to school just for that. Anyone else get the cane? I joked in the video did you? Oh, that's what went wrong. Does Angie still do the caning, Phil? That's a bit personal for YouTube, isn't it? Wow. Yeah, I joked that I never got whipped at school, but I made up for it in my adult life. Not really. I get this thing about pain. I don't particularly enjoy it. I try and avoid it, actually. Badge of honor, you reckon? I don't know about that, mate. Yeah, okay. Well, good. I probably shouldn't say this, but I used to work with a guy who was a mate for many years, and then for some reason decided he didn't want to be mates. Oh, hang on. Get yourself in check, Steve, if you're on YouTube. And apparently he told me he went to a prostitute once, and she, I put it politely, she whipped his, somewhere you don't want to get whipped. And I went, why did you pay her to do it? He said, I didn't. She just did it. And I said, and he told a few of us we were on shift. We said, you ever heard the word stop? Or so talk about no self-confidence. Like, I'll tell you what, if somebody started to do that to me, yeah, they'd be stopping real quick. But it was funny. He was a nice enough bloke, and I was mates with him for years, but whatever. Really? Holy crap, Gizmo. Wow. It's intense. Yeah. I wonder how many of these people would be in jail, these teachers that used to do that under current laws. Maybe one day they will. Too right there'd be a lawsuit. Really? Yeah. It's a changed world, isn't it? Debra. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, well, I remember some pretty gruff high school teachers. There was a woodwork or manual arts teacher. I can't believe this when I think back on it. He was demonstrating how to use a mitre saw or something, and we're kind of gathered around the table. I remember his thing too. He always used to say 3, 1, 1. Apparently, like 3 fingers, 1 and 1 to hold the saw. 3, 1, 1. And as one of the guys said something, I don't remember what, and it was like the opposite side, and he's throwing, and he deliberately went forward and like cut his arm. Like, you're kidding me, man? The things that people got away with because we were kids, they tried it in front of us. Now we're adults. Be a different story, wouldn't it? Unreal. What school I went to? East Brisbane Primary School, which I did a video about the other month. Took you for a long tour around it. And for, I think, about a year in grade 6 or 3, 6, I think, or 5. I went to Morningside State School. Then I went on to Cooperoo High School. And I've learned a lot more since I left school than I ever learned in school. And yes, I was there for a number of years. Wow. Intense. Laugh at the principal. Yeah, would have pissed him off, wouldn't it? Yeah, I do, Gizmo. Yep. East End. Ah, okay. Pet Shop Boys. Yeah, I know the song. I loved it, actually. I see you were born in England. Oh, okay, you're joking. Oh, I tell you what, they made some great songs, though. Pet Shop Boys. I like the film clip. Remember the Absolutely Fabulous Girls? That was a great clip. It was awesome. Yeah, it was a lot to look back on. Anyone watching the replay when this eventually processes, if you look at the live chat. Oh, you were born in Toowoomba, okay. Oh, g'day, Addison. How you going? Youth crime is a problem, but more problems those living in Asheville. Okay. Oh, you mean the younger people? Yeah. They a police friend of mine was telling me at his place a few years ago that they come to the richer, say richer, the wealthier, perceived wealthier areas, come from really poor areas to do robbing, and their actual lower echelon areas, whatever you want to call it, less wealthy, don't tend to have as much crime within that area because people think, well, no one's got anything. Yeah. Addison, I'm pretty easy about music. I don't have any particular music I'm into these days, especially. But I do think there's a lot of crap on the radio. I'm constantly, as I'm driving, spend as much time driving as I do pressing the button to change stations and flick through the bands because there's so much stuff. It's just like, what? Yeah. Okay, yeah, I used to live there. Exactly. I lived in Stanley Street East, just near Bottomley Park. Bottomley Park was literally down the bottom there. It's still a nice area, I hope. It was last time. I drove through it usually on the way to my sister's. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, well, I was told, I think it was in Vietnam, I went for a massage and the girl said, oh, are you in rock band? No. No, let's go to the Civic, Phil. No, I don't feel like it. Oh, what do you want to do? Oh, let's colour in. Okay. Schmapper. Yeah, a little private thing between Phil and I about some girls we used to see. Well, yeah, okay. I star in a music video with Gianni. That's true. That is true. But I'm not really in her band. That's on my YouTube channel. It's had a number of views. Unsuspected. Yes. No, Schmamfer. Yeah, remember the way she spelled it? It'd be more like SMAM. Schmamfer. Phil and I have a lot of good memories. Oh, okay. Did you? Cheers. Yeah. Well, it's getting back to what I was talking about before. I mean, I'm not a big fan of the changes of Brisbane in general. I mean, yeah, I want to use the word yappified, but it is very modern, a lot more modern than when I grew up here. But Schmaffer, that's right. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's changed a bit too much and is changing. And I personally, as I've mentioned, as far as the Brisbane Olympic Games, I'm sorry in hindsight that Brisbane ever submitted to be part of it because, as I said in that video, I can't think of anything really positive to come out of it. Maybe some transport things will be by then better, public transport. I don't catch public transport. I just have always preferred to just jump in the car, go my own route, my own pace. Yeah, that's just me. Of course, it's more expensive, vastly more expensive. You have to pay registration, insurance, maintenance, and buy the car, but you've got independence. Having said that, the last time I did use public transport, I did think, well, this is pretty cool. I'm just sitting here, leave all the, don't have to worry about the traffic, the bus drivers doing it. Yeah, so that was okay. I do think it's good they, as I said, they brought in the, let me move this closer. There we go. I do think it's good they have the 50-cent fares, especially realising from Gizmo's video before last, going across to the islands, that the ferries are also only 50 cents. That's massive. I mean, that's brilliant. You know, I have been on ferries, of course. The ferry I go to locally is a privately owned ferry. It's not council owned, so there's no 50 cents. It's still $2 each way, which isn't much, I guess, but you know, Brisbane's definitely changed. Not all for the best, I think. The mindless work they're doing at Wollongabba is just, and I hope they don't go any further with it. As I've said, I really hope they don't do a backflip and move, practically demolish my old school that I made the video on, East Brisbane State School. But I guess times will tell. Yeah, well, that's true. Well, some people were saying, Gizmo, I think Beck was saying that like they had to wait so long for a bus. So it seems more people are using public transport now. They've made it 50 cents, but now they're having to wait longer. But having said that, it's like when I was chatting to you the other day, you pulled over for what, 45 minutes to chat with me. So I'm sorry if I held you up. But yeah, it's catch-22 life, isn't it? This is good reading all these comments. It's fun. It is Stradbroke. We used to go there a lot. Letty's friend had a house there, and yeah, we used to go there a few times a year. You know, they'd give us cheap rent then. We'd stay for like a week at a time or whatever. Last time I think we were over there because they've sold the house since. That I mentioned this to T-Rox the other day. I think under a comment. For whatever reason, there's like tiles on the floor, and you just randomly hear bang. This tile would jump up in the air. So I don't know, whether it's contraction or the heat. I guess it was summer. Just suddenly it would let go, and it obviously was under some sort of pressure. When they let go, boom, it jump up in the air like a foot or two. Scare the shit out of you. Oh yeah, I know. I remember you came to visit me in Canberra. You were stuck next to an Indian all the way. If Alan's still there watching, yeah, he could relate to that. He loves curries. Not. Yeah, 50 cents. Isn't that right, Gizmo? Yeah. No, the car ferry wouldn't be 50 cents, unfortunately. Yeah, well, I would never have done it in the first place, Phil. But I have to say, thank you for coming to visit me, because apart from bloke I haven't seen for years, Frankie, we called him, he was down there, but he was in the army, so he went to, where'd he go? Duntroon, yeah, which is military training college. He wasn't an officer, but for some reason he was down there for a while. So he came and saw Ros and I. Yeah. Oh, yes, please, Ange. I've actually run out of coffee. I was just thinking I could do with my 20th for the day. That's all I've had today is coffee. I did have a glass of orange juice, though. When's your union, man? Yep. I was a union delegate for AWU, Australian Workers Union, when I was working with the government now over 20 years ago. And I've still got a good mate, Wayne Mills, who was the one of the union organisers. Yeah, let's just say from our chats, he's kind of gone off unions too. Also, another good mate of mine, Troy, was a union delegate. And none of us are too much union people anymore. I still I've said, I made a little video, I think last Labor Day. I believe in the essence of a union where you can help your members, but unfortunately, not in my personal experience, but I believe Wayne may have seen this one, truly, hence his opinion change. But even other people I've known, there is corruption in unions, of course. But I'll always believe in the principle of it, where they're there to help people. But I saw a lot of idiots when I was a union rep. They would ring me up over like petty stuff, like, oh, we didn't, I didn't get paid the right money. I said, well, did you ring up payroll? No. I said, okay, how about you ring payroll and tell them your problem? Like, what do you want? Let's the union tackle them because you didn't get paid right. Or people would say, oh, we didn't want this to happen. I say, did you bother to turn up at the union meeting I had? No. There you go. You were literally like close by. Anyway. Hey, T-Rock's been talking about you. Nothing good. Oh, I thought you might be. Yeah, I'm going out this week to hopefully shoot something. I've been saying a few times since this stream started 2 hours ago. This is my longest one ever. I've been saying for me especially it's a challenge being born in Brisbane because I've racked my brain for days about like where haven't I been in one form or another. And I came up with a few ideas and I looked them up. It's like, well, that place no longer exists. It's demolished and now there's high rises. So, and then I thought of going really deep, like underground, and you can't get access there. Yeah, there's a few places I've thought of. We'll talk about it all when we have a catch up after the Twisties is done. Or you'll find a place that does tours. I mean, I just want to do a self tour, but some places you have to be a tour. And next tour is like 3 days after the Twisties video is due to be up. So I've narrowed it down. I found a place that should be okay. And I thought of another place and like $50 to go in. So forget that. So we'll see how we go. I think I'm just going to, all right, Phil, yeah, cheers, mate. I'll go and have a coffee soon too. Somewhere new. That's the thing, mate. It's like somewhere new. There's only one new place, and that's the casino, and I'm not going there. So, but it says inner Brisbane, doesn't say Brisbane City. So, should be okay. I can't wait to see what yours is about too. Good. It's good to see you doing. Exactly. That's what I'm relying on. Yeah. Oh, we were talking about you too, T-Rocks, about how interesting your videos are. As I'd have to scroll up, I forget, there's been a few people here. Yeah, who'd have thought that we'd like geology videos? But as I was saying, it's like you've got the personality and the way you present it is great. And it's like, normally I'm walking around like, oh yeah, rocks, whatever, not thinking. But like now you see the line, you go, I didn't know there was a fault. I didn't know that there was a fault at Kenmore. I thought I was the fault, living not far from there. Yeah, okay. I'm going to rely on my non-sponsored water bottle here. I'm catching up on the gossip here. Everyone just like Gizmo and T-Rock's chat. Hurston? What? A fault? Oh, Brisbane tough, yeah. I know, absolutely. Yeah, it was Lawrence and I think, talking T-Rocks. Yeah, exactly. I have no idea about all this stuff. It's very interesting. It's not boring at all. But again, it's like geology. Yeah, it wouldn't be something I'd go out of my way to look at. Somewhere, I'm blinded by this light, wrapped up like whatever the word is no one can understand. Somewhere I'm standing up. Oh no, there it is. Look, here. Live Discovery Cam. Let me get my keyboard out of the way. I've got a lovely bunch of coconuts. There they are, standing on the wall. Here is a dusty old jar full of, try not to disconnect, full of old gemstones that I collected when I went to school. Look at that. No, I'm not going to start a T-Rock Stew channel. That's probably out of focus. But I've got all these things here with all these gems, totally covered in dust, quartz. I bought from Dado's Rock Shop, literally a few doors down from East Brisbane School, where I did my video we're talking about. Oh, I don't know what that is. Yeah, but I've got this jar of most of the rocks I believe that's agate. Not to be confused with the surname of a maiden one. Yeah. Literally, I tell you what, you stare at a ring light for 2 hours. I'm not sure what that is now. I knew once. Can you see it? Well, I don't have a brick in the room with me, mate, but I'll run down the backyard and get it for you. Yeah. Yes, I've got all these things. Look, rocks, amethyst. What's this one? This is a good one. Could be gold in this one. They're also dusty. I need to wash my rocks regularly. I've been told that for hygiene's sake. Little bits of quartz probably in there, yeah. A little bit more dust. Oh. But these things, most of them I bought from Dada's Rock Shop. No, I just bought them from a rock shop. Look, it used to be called Dada's Rock Shop. It was at Wollongabba. I'll try and can't show you properly. There's the rest of them all. Is that it? I still got it. One I found in New Farm Park. I don't know if it's here. And it had fool's gold and iron pyrite. I got conned in grade 1 or 2 amethyst by a mate that, what did he swap? I don't know, he wanted $1, probably wasn't $1, for some gold. And you know what it was? It was a gold painted chassis, plastic chassis of a Matchbox car. It was the sucker. And then I bought the Sydney Harbour Bridge on the same day. Yeah, so I knew what this was once. There you go. So now I'm a qualified geologist. Anyway, put my rocks away. That's what she said. Yeah, so for some reason they've been sitting up here on one of my shelves here for a long time. Oh, this, I can't remember what that is. What's that, Tony? Lots of sparkly things. You see that? Thunderbird Park, yeah. Rhodonite, yeah, that was it. I could probably lick that to clean it. I won't. Yeah, quite pretty. But this is an interesting one. I'll show you when you come over. I've had it for, it's probably 50 years old, 50 years that I've had it. I suspect it's a lot older than 50 though. Yeah. And that was Steve Mack's rock show. Well, not Steve Mack showing his rocks. What kind of was? All right, catch up on some comments. Do those ones float? No, it's not that soft, Phil. Tin ore. Oh, I used to go. No, never mind. Yeah. Okay, let me scroll up and read comments. I do need another coffee soon. Oh, people have been chatting behind my back. I've been showing you my rocks. All right, you chat amongst yourself and I'll catch up. And if somebody can, if you're not going to buy me a coffee, at least make me one, will you? Or buy me a coffee or whatever. And oh, how's that for a smoke effect? Buy me a coffee and pay someone to make it for me. Now I'm going to have to read all these back. This is officially the longest live stream I've done in my entire life. Sorry about the smoke effects. Well, it's good to have you all here. 13 people watching now. Someone else jumped in. I think if I just keep the live stream going for a month, I'll get quite a lot of views. Don't forget, if you've joined in and you haven't clicked the thumbs up, literally in the time I started making the sentence, you could have done it. It's never too late. And you also never get to see me on camera smoking very often. All right, I'm going to have to read these back in about a day when they process. Keep talking amongst yourselves while I read. Sorry if anyone switched off while I've been showing you my rocks. I had actually, wonder what that is. I had also from Dado's Rock Shop, had a card, I think, with all the different rocks. Or was it SeaWorld? Might have been SeaWorld, they were shells. One of those statements is correct. You'll have to guess which one, because we're talking a while back. That's my try. Yeah. There we go. I was going to film a little shot later, but I may not now. All right, so whilst everyone's reading and commenting, stable geological period. Well, maybe the geology is the only thing that's stable in this current world, isn't it? Okay. I'm just catching up on comments, guys. Sorry. Talk amongst yourselves. Yep. Gizmo has rocks in his head, apparently, according to Gizmo. Yeah, exactly. None of us are really normal people when you think about it, are we, T-Rocks? You've got to be a little bit eccentric to be on YouTube, seriously. Oh, I skipped too fast. 1 minute I saw Road Night, next minute it skipped. Okay, here we are. Thunderbird Park. Isn't that at Bundaberg? I've been to Bundaberg a few times. Sovereign Hill, no, that's not Bundaberg. Sorry, Tenor, right, read that one. All right, so what else shall we talk about? No licky. Oh, really? Okay. So I should wash my hands afterwards. Tin arsenite, wow. Well, I did a video. I don't know if any of you guys have seen it. I did a video a few years ago when I bought my Geiger counter or dosimeter, which was made in Ukraine, of a clock from a Liberator bomber clock that an old mate now deceased gave me many, many years ago. It was sitting on my shelf, probably that far away from me for the last 20 years in my office. And when I put the dosimeter up to it, it went mental. It's basically saying run. And of course, like radiation, the further away you are, the less radiation generally. But the damn thing was sitting in front of my head for 20 years. So if you're talking about why people go crazy and do YouTube, that's probably it. It's now wrapped up in aluminium foil in a cabinet behind a glass thing and kind of, not in front of everyone. But yeah, it was a bit scary. It's a bit like I covered it in the video. See if you can find it. It's a bit like the green glass radium. And of course, it was the radium on the dial, hand painted, that was causing that alpha particles, possibly beta as well. Did I catch up in kryptonite? No. Oh, that's what about it. That's my superpowers gizmo, kryptonite. No, this isn't a delayed thing. I'm just finally scrolling down while I talk. I don't seem to have much lag on here. This, Tony, is why I use just the standard YouTube thing. Yeah, it does explain it. Because I don't have any lag that I'm aware of. OBD Studio, which I haven't really played with much, I don't know, seems to be too complex to me. What did you see in your... Sorry, I've lost the train of thought. Lawrence? Found this by accident, saw the live stream in my suggestion. Oh, okay, the stream, you mean? Okay. Oh, all right, Tony. Sorry, mate. Yeah, catch you later, buddy. We'll catch up very, very soon. Sorry, I didn't see you saying that. Good stream. Well, it's a stream. I don't know if it's good. It's up to you guys to judge. But I appreciate you all coming and watching. Definitely the longest one I've ever done. Giant earthquake. Ah, Thunderbird. Yeah. Okay, Mount Tambourine. Yeah, I like Tambo. Haven't been up there for a while. I went up there to film the movie Magdala Rose, which is now on YouTube, I believe, as well. If you want to see me as Friar Thomas, shorter hair, and yeah, went up there many times because my mate, who's the director, also has a house up there now too. But yeah, very, very cold even at night time in summer. All right, so I'm up to speed. Sorry about the delay. Cheers to everyone that's left, and hello to anyone new that's come along. Might go make a coffee soon. What's the time? Wow. Yeah, no, I don't think so. Huh. My longest video is the one I when I went out to Phil's. You see in the comments here. That's my longest YouTube video so far, 1 hour. It's starting to rain now. Starting to rain. Yeah, no, I probably should wrap it up soon. Well, it's good to catch up. It's just a chat. I've told you what I'm up to. A few of us are up to. Trying to work out what to make the video about for the Twisted Visions Challenge. Bit of fun. Challenging for me to try and think of somewhere I haven't been in one way or another. I think there's no point for me to go to some place that's been revamped because I've still been there. It's like, you know, on one of my trips overseas, of which I've had many, we flew over Hiroshima. So I kind of count that as being there, even though we were quite a number of feet high. I've been to the Philippines too. I've not landed, but I've flown over it. Cebu, I remember seeing it on the map. Yeah, right, Phil, I might go too, mate. Make another coffee, maybe have a nanny nap, maybe in a while. Might do a little small clip I'm going to film outside. Not going to do what one, Gizzo? Not going to do one. In what context do you speak, sir? Do what? Oh, hi Vala, how are you? Hello. Hello, I'm not dead still. Like on the phone recently, I thought he was dead. No, Steve is not dead. It's just a rumor. Oh, you did a live stream by accident, did you? No, I think you should do it. I was thinking you should do a live stream as well. It's pretty harmless. Stealth camping video. Oh, yeah, you'd have to be stealth. Who was it? It wasn't Cam Carter, was it? There's a couple of guys I get mixed up, sorry. One of them did camp out somewhere, I think Beanley Way, in a park overnight, a public park. He got away with it. She said hi. Hello, it's me. All right, see you, Phil. I'll chat to you through the week probably, mate. Cheers. Thanks for jumping on. And that's what she said. No, it's pretty. It's pretty easy to do a live stream. I mean, it's not a bad thing to do for your channel sometimes. It's, my approach is it's like an informal gathering of whoever's happens to be here. And plus, a lot of people I find can be a week later. Slowly people watch the replay. Hey, no worries. You're going too, Will. Well, that sounds good enough, I guess. Good enough time to wrap up. Almost finished my cigarette. It keeps going up. Yeah, and it's starting to rain lightly. It's a nice chillax Sunday. I just thought, well, I didn't have a video ready. I've got one I could put together, but it's just magpies. I'm trying to get the magpies. I've caught it a couple of times. The currawong keeps strafing the magpies, which is kind of the opposite of what normally happens. When I was on the phone to Gizmo the other day, it was happening. They went crazy doing it. I went, oh, no, I can't film it at the same time. So I've clued them up. I said, I want you guys to get into a real fight this afternoon so I can film you. Yeah, you too, buddy. Just skip the ads, mate. Who cares? I get a fraction of a microcent probably for each ad. You don't get much out of it. Yeah, you can skip them. I'm what, Will? I'm exterminating what? Oh, by the way, I mentioned him in one of my videos. A guy I've been friends with for a few years now, Guy's Pest Solutions. He lives somewhere near Florida, and we're in contact several times a week via email. So yeah, I'm waiting on an email back to see how he is. I can't remember if he's in Florida per se or nearby, but I know the other day he said he was basically battening down the hatches for the hurricane. So hope he's okay. All right, Will, you going, are you? Butcher birds. Oh, you got a storm bird. Okay. Really? All night long? Well, Big Eyes, she's been on a few films. Bobo's invariably in the background of all of my films, if you want to call them films. Butcher bird. I think Graham's gone, but he has a couple of butcher birds have started visiting him. Magpies are very intelligent, yeah. Yeah. All right, okay. Well, I'll wrap it up. People are going. I'm surprised there's anyone still here. 11 people watching. That's good. 18 thumbs up. So we got up there. That's also a record for me of people watching. I hope it hasn't been too boring for you. Anyone who watches the replay, I'm just prattling on randomly. I think I've answered all the questions and comments. And yeah, I don't think I've missed anyone, but if I have, sorry. And to the bulk of people that will watch this sometime in the future, the replay, thank you for joining. And especially thank you if you've waited till the end, because this is mega. I said I'll probably do half an hour. All right, no worries, mate. It's good meeting you at the catch-up too. Definitely. Oh, by the way, I told Graham that you're a big fan of his. So, yeah. Okay, well, I'll wrap it up there. It is currently just about to hit 2:30. It's 2:29 here on Sunday, which is the 29th of September, 2024. And this is Steve Mack, currently called Steve Mack Australia because a few months back I added Australia to the end because, as I may have said, for years you type in Steve Mack on YouTube and you'd see me, right? The long hair. And yeah, no, there's a muso in America comes up. So, I added Australia to it, which kind of makes sense because in Australia, a lot of my topics are like the Australian perspective of it. But I'm not a Brisbane channel per se. Of course, I've made heaps of, probably 1,200 videos on this channel now, nearly. And that's not counting the other channels. And yeah, but I don't make a lot of topics specifically about Brisbane, except in the Twisted Village. Here we go again. This is why it ends up in outtakes. Twisted Visions challenges, because they're Brisbane centric, if you want to say. But yeah, Brisbane to me is, well, being born here is a little bit boring. It's not boring, but you really don't catch me in the city very often. I go through it quite often, every week or so, or on the outskirts of it. But yeah, spent my time as a younger fella in the city very, very often. And as I said, I used to, in the 20s, mid to late 20s, probably mid 20s, ride my motorbike in every night and go and play chess with some people. So park in the Maya Centre and invariably not be able to relocate my motorbike because I forgot what level I was on. Thank you, mate. I don't know if I'm the one and only. All right. Thanks, everyone, for joining. I do appreciate it. And likewise for those watching the replay. So I'll sign off now. It's gone 2:31. Yeah, cheers, Benny. Thanks for joining in, mate. And yeah, it'll probably take me 2 hours to stop seeing this white ring in front of my eyes. Running it on full intensity here, see? Off. 1, 2, 3. Maximum. Yeah. There we go. All right. I'll give you all a little wave at my little icon here. Wavy, wavy. There we go. And game over. All right. Okay. Thanks, everyone, again. And I'll see you in the next video, which I may or may not put up Tony's trailer of the promo for Twisted Visions. If not, my next video will be next Sunday, 5:30 p.m. I believe, when we will put up our version of the chosen topic. So I'll see you then, and I hope you enjoy it. As I said, I'll probably just do it more as a vlog, but we'll see. There's a few ideas rattling around in the empty skull here. All right. Cheers, everyone. Thanks again. Bye. See ya.